Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Jason Cappuccino of Sashes&Scripts, and today we are going to talk about the 5 lessons we've learned from the recently held Miss Universe pageant. So stick around and watch out for it. Before we begin, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications bell for more pageant related content, and let's go on now to the discussion. Okay, so the Miss Universe pageant is recently finished, and we've seen a lot of happy faces with the results, and we're now going to talk about what are the things that we can learn from the entire pageant itself. So first on the list, we now see the importance of social media. I think the best example for that is Nadia Ferreira of Paraguay, who had a very smooth, who had a very clean social media campaign, and who had one of the most interesting social media feeds on Instagram. And I think that when Iris Mitiner of France, who later on admitted in an IG story, she mentioned that after reviewing the profiles of the Miss Universe candidates, she's now on to social media to look up more about the candidates and look at what they have been going through. I think that now gives us a glimpse on how the Miss Universe judging works. Earlier in 2019, I believe, Miss Universe 2000 Lara Dutta of India mentioned that the pageant or the competition is almost finished even before the pageant girl or the candidate has stepped into the venue of the Miss Universe pageant, and that's because of social media. I think she had valid points with that pronouncement, with that statement. I think it is now irresponsible to think that judges or the selection committee would not take a peek into the social media accounts of the candidates. If you notice the Miss Universe website, the candidates in their bios, it is included their handles on their Instagram accounts. That means that it is now an important tool for the candidates to use their social media to tell more about themselves. It's not it's not enough that you have a very strong bio, that you have a very very flowery words on your bio. It's now as important to have a strong bio as to have a strong social media presence. And when I say strong social media presence, I meant that your social media should be able to showcase your work, your community work, your charity projects, your advocacies. What are the things that makes you interesting, the things that makes you you, because social media now is a very important branding tool. It's a very important communications tool for the candidates to be more, to be more palatable, or to look better in the eyes of the judges and the selection committee. And I think we need to understand now that social media is unavoidable, especially in the context that the Miss Universe judges, even if they don't, they don't admit it publicly, they are people who would look up about their favorites or about the girls that they are judging in their different social feeds. Now, next on the list is consistency. I think that this is a major thing to learn, or major learning that we need to apply into our pageant campaigns moving forward, because consistency from the start of the competition until the finals night is important, because judges are now involved in the preliminary judging as well as in the finals judging. Majority of this year's judges are the ones who have interviewed, or rather the ones who have reviewed their video interviews, their preliminary performances up until the finals night. And when I say consistency, it means that the girls need to be able to charm their way into, in their interviews, and translate that same energy in the preliminaries up until the finals. And it also means that their performance level should be on the same level of energy all throughout. There needs to be a sort of equal energy, equal strength in their performance from start to finish, not just having a strong preliminary but a weak finals performance. And I think that is something that we need to, to inculcate in our pageant girls nowadays, because consistency, as they say, is key. The third lesson that we need to learn in the from the Miss Universe pageant this year is the importance of the preliminary interviews. We have to reiterate what we've learned in 2016, that 60% of the preliminary scores of the candidates come from the closed-door interview. So it means that even if you did well in the evening gown and in the swimsuit competition, if you did not nail the preliminary interviews, then that's not, the 40% remaining from those competitions, that's not enough to make you make it into the list of semifinalists. And that means that you need to be able to deliver your message very consistently, very powerfully, and very tactfully. This means also that there needs to be a good balance between content and delivery. It does not pay to have a strong delivery but shallow content. You need to have both. You need to have a strong answer as well as strong delivery of that answer. This is why Boy Abunda in his coaching of Miss Universe Philippines in the past, whether it's from Gazine Ganados to Bea Gomez, he always stresses the importance of sounding right. Because even if your content is a little bit off tangent, a little bit on the side of the actual conversation, if you are able to deliver it well, then it would be it would sound much better to the ears of the judging panel, as compared to having a very strong content but having a very unsure delivery. Because you need to understand that communication, 90 or around 80% of what is understood from a communications perspective, 80% of the meaning comes from nonverbal cues. So that's your tone, that's your rhythm, that's the tone of voice that you use, that's your nonverbal communications, that's your body movements, that's your pauses. Those things factor in the way that you deliver your answer. So if we are to to further dissect this, it means that what you are saying and what is understood by your audience, 80% of that comes from the nonverbal cues. So it's not surprising, therefore, that Nadia Ferreira of Paraguay was able to make it up until the first runner-up position, because she is able to deliver her answers and they sounded right. Number 4 on the list is authenticity. I think Miss Universe President Paula Shugart said this, thousands of times before, that she wants, an authentic girl, a real woman, an empowered leader to be the Miss Universe. And in a video where she mentioned to the judges, where she briefed the judges on what kind of girl are they looking for this competition, she mentioned there that what she's looking is authenticity. And that is probably one of the reasons why, some of the judges might have gone into social media to look at the girls, to look at the profiles of the girls, and look more about who the girls are, what they stand for, and what are the things that they are passionate about. And authenticity also means that you are not overly studied in the way that you deliver your answer. You are not overly trained in the in the technical aspects of the performance. There needs to have natural warmth coming from it. There needs to be personality coming from it. It needs to be real. It needs to be palpable. It needs to be genuine for it to work nowadays. It's not, it's no longer working if you are too trained, you are too focused on the technical aspects of your presentation, of your walk, of your turns, of your facial transitions. If overall it does not feel genuine or it does not feel organic. And I think that is one thing that, you know, pageant powerhouses like the Philippines and Venezuela need to learn from. They need to be more authentic and to be more original, to be more unique, to be more themselves when they are competing. And finally, number 5 on the list of the things that we can learn from this edition of the Miss Universe pageant is that we need to send achievers. We need to send women who have achieved something in their communities, in their academics, in their personal lives, for them to be successful at the Miss Universe pageant. Looking at the girls who made top 5, top 10 of this year's competition, or even top 16, a lot of them are achievers on their own. Panama is a United Nations fellow. Bahamas was a certified youth leader from the Bahamas Ministry of Youth. Miss Universe Puerto Rico is taking up double degree major in biology and pre-med. And then we also have Miss Universe South Africa, who is studying to become a lawyer, who has a law degree actually. And then these are the things that we need to now factor in, take into consideration, because we need to be sending women who have accomplished something of themselves, something that is tangible, something that you can brag about in the international arena, for you to be able to become the next Miss Universe. I think that, you know, women who are leaders in their community, who have done something in their communities, are more likely to be noticed by the international competition nowadays. I also, you know, want to stress that even though advocacy is something that, you know, is considered not as important in the international competition, but advocacy in terms of what you have done for the community, what are the tangible things that you have achieved, that you have done, that you have worked on, that you have contributed to society or to your community, that is something that needs to be inculcated in your campaign. It needs to be something that is thought of and applied, so that it becomes, you know, a good conversational piece when you're talking with the judges. So in terms of you know, being authentic, being, you know, a service of the community, being a leader to your peers, that is something that you need to include now into your pageant campaign. So I hope that all of these things, all of these 5 things, being authentic, being consistent, being, you know, active on social media, knowing, you know, the importance of interview, as well as being an achiever. These are something that pageant girls should now try to include in their campaigns. These are something that they need to, you know, forge in and plan on and build up in their pageant resumes. You can no longer be just all fluff and nothing else. You cannot be very one-dimensional. You have to be multifaceted nowadays to become the next Miss Universe. And I think that this applies not only to the Miss Universe pageant, but it also applies to other national and international pageants as well. Nowadays, pageants are looking for more well-rounded women. They're looking for women who can change society, who can contribute to their communities. They're looking for leaders, for achievers. That's all I have to say on this topic. I hope that in the future, pageant girls would take note of these 5 things, and, you know, I hope that the pageant fans will be more discerning about what they're going to look for in an international pageant caliber representative here in the Philippines. I hope to see you soon in the next discussion. I hope to see you soon on the next video. And please do take care, subscribe again to my channel, and let's grow this community together. Bye everyone, and see you again soon.